Hi, welcome back. This is the fourth video in the series to our CLE solution, Event Monitoring and Tracking for MuleSoft. Earlier, we have seen the sample apps and their scope. Now, let's visualize how these apps are orchestrated from receiving an order to fulfillment. We will look at few scenarios, starting with an invalid order, or rather a failure case. As you can see, there are 7 services, of which 5 of them are within the Mule scope, the one in the blue background. And each of these applications within Mule are responsible to emit events indicating the order statuses. The external apps 4 and 6 would not emit any events. Now, an order is invalid if it does not comply with the expected message structure, like checks like mandatory fields, enumerated values, and so on, and maybe business use cases, business validations as well. As you can see, the order message that we receive could be in XML or JSON format, and the message can contain either one or more order messages. So as soon as the initiate order receives the message, the first and foremost thing it does is it checks it validates the message against the schema or the business rules, and if it is not valid, it straight away replies back to the originating application stating the order is failed. And this applies to each one of the order message within the bulk order. So thereby we stop the orchestration, the workflow to avoid any bottlenecks in failing in the downstream applications. Now let us look at the successful orders. It's again a typical scenario. Uh, as soon as we receive the messages from the external machine, we do the validations. If the validation is good, this is where we send an order received entry. This is an event message with a stage called entry, and the status as order received. And the next thing, as per the business rule, is check if the order received is from an existing member or a new customer. If it is a new customer, if it is a new customer or an existing customer, we do a synchronous call to the managed customer service, which actually gets all the details from the backend system. If it is a new customer, we create a customer. It creates a customer reference number for referring through the order workflow, and replace back to the initiate order service. So this is a synchronous call. And as soon as we get the customer reference number assigned to an order to an order message, we push that message uh, to service 3, which is basically, it stores the message in a database. This also helps in case if the order transaction fails, we can always replay it from here. And before that is processed, the message is replied back to the originator stating the order is initiated. And from here on, the message processing takes place asynchronously because all of the services 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, they're all asynchronous. Like I said, this will save the message in the database and transform the message into the expected format of the next series, which is allocate store details, before which it also emits these events, entry and exits, stating order sent for allocation. So this is the core service. It's an external service which is responsible for gathering all the store details for the items in an order. And once it replies back, we again transform the message and push it to the ERP system for processing and fulfillment. And its reply is again consumed by this order status service, which is then responsible to share the status back to the allocator store and as well as the order inventory, and thereby closing the order. And if we just extend this the successful orders to reprocessing the orders, so this is a use case where in case the ERP system doesn't find the inventory, if it finds the inventory to be unavailable against the order or the items, it will send a status back to order status 7 stating it cannot be processed. So that's when the order status will again send back to allocate store details for processing, and which will identify based on the order status and then reallocate the new store details. As you can see, I think you can pretty much understand the flow of the sequence here. Up until here is a successful process order, and if the order is not completed, it will try to reallocate the new store details based on nearest location and various criteria, and then try to reprocess it. So at every stage within the Mule scope, we have two events, which is entry and exit, and in case if there's an error, it would be an entry and error. So considering these, we will next see how do we actually track the life cycle of an order and the various visualizations. Thank you.